Welcome back to Season 4, Episode 3
Welcome back, everybody.
of Hicks Racing Podcast. Our sponsors are Fly Racing,
BDR Suspension.
BDR Suspension, the Shoals MX.
The Shoals.
And your beautiful wife.
Yes.
Well, your wife.
Absolutely. You are beautiful.
It is July 1st.
We are looking, if anybody else is looking to sponsor the show or us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're open. OnlyFans, strippers, whatever can get us by. It is July 1st, 2025. We are sitting here at the Shoals in Donald, South Carolina. This episode, we're going to recap our last two regionals with Matthew Henry.
Yep.
Living the dream over there. So our last episode, we left off with the area. We went to Lake Sugar Tree for
the northeast area, I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
Or areas. I don't know if we combined them both together or not. I don't really remember either.
So we went to Lake Sugar Tree for the
We're
southeast.
on top of the stuff. I'll tell you.
Yeah, our lives are so slow that we are just on it every minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Lake Sugar Tree June 13th through the 15th. Actually, I think it was even before that because we got there early. And
we got there Thursday.
What was that? Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah,
so
getting there.
4.5 hours?
4.5 hours. An hour and a half into the trip, my fan decided to come apart and go into my radiator, the truck. Mm-hmm. So which
is weird because it wasn't really that loud.
Yeah,
I heard we both heard it, and then we were like, must have been something we ran over.
Nah, no way. As soon as I heard it, I knew. I knew what it was. I knew it was something in that area, and I didn't know if it was going to be as bad as it actually didn't turn out to be. It wasn't. And we got there.
It turned a 4.5-hour trip into a 7.5-hour trip.
Into a 6-hour trip or 7, whatever you want to say. Well, we got there. It took 30 gallons of water and stopping for 20 minutes to fill up the radiator, but we got there.
Literally, so we finally fitted the Starlink to the truck, on top of the truck, so that we could all have Wi-Fi. I could work. Mm-hmm. We get going down the road. Wi-Fi is working good. I was like, okay, this is so much nicer. I don't have to piggyback off my phone. And then that happens, and then it takes us forever to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then anybody who's been to a regional already knows it's expensive. So on top of doing all the regional fees, we're also now fixing the truck. So to get to Lake Sugar Tree, let's backtrack a little bit. You pre-registered before you got to Lake Sugar Tree. Mm-hmm. How much was each class? Because you've done plus 45 and plus 50.
Yeah.
How much was it to register each class?
It's $60 per class for MX Sports. Mm-hmm. And I believe Lake Sugar Tree was $60 a class for their sign up for Lake Sugar Tree.
On top of the fee. On top of the other fee.
On top of the $60 MX Sports fee. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then when you get there, it was
40 for dry camping.
40 for dry camping.
$45 a piece.
For adults.
Adults.
No, it was 50.
Was it 50?
A piece for adults, and then 30 for Lucas.
Yep.
Because he was under, I forget.
That's right, it was $180. Yep.
And then our pit vehicle fee
was $25.
Because we had the golf cart.
Yep. Now they get you every which way they can think of.
I've never seen somebody nickel and dime us so much.
Hey, and then when we get to Unadilla, the Unadilla charge even more for their fee was even more for the class.
So anyway, we have the truck issues. We get there, spend an ass load in cash. Finally get set up. That's Thursday night. Because we got there early. Because I was like, well, I don't have, I can just work from the road. We might as well get there early and set up.
Yep. That was
and then
Thursday
you have
night.
Your practice all day Friday. Mm-hmm. How was practice?
Practice was good. Had never been to Lake Sugar Tree. And
it's a really cool facility.
It's a cool facility. Yeah. And
very nice.
Yep.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. The track's different. I mean, but it's.
I think that might be one of the only tracks I'd be able to ride because there's not absolutely ridiculous mountains you have to climb over.
If they had a prep that was a little more.
Well. Yeah. But it's Loretta's, so their prep was appropriate for Loretta's.
If they maybe I don't know how they prep it normally. Maybe a local prep you'd be okay, but
it's a really cool facility. It's beautiful.
It got some pretty deep ruts in it there for.
They have a little, I don't want to call it a supercross track, I guess.
Yeah, yep, night cross. Yep.
That they use that looks really fun. The camping was nice.
Yep.
They had people coming around to fill your water. Thank God. and it was really nice. I thought it was a really nice
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So how was practice Friday? Because it was what, 10 to 2? I think it was.
Yeah, 10 to, yeah, what, 10
Something like
to,
that.
something like that.
Did you
yeah.
enjoy practice at all?
Practice was good.
Was
Yeah.
it difficult?
No, I don't. No, track. No, and it wasn't. It wasn't prepped as deep for practice as it was for the racing.
Why?
I don't know why. I don't have that answer. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't probably far off, but it definitely was. Maybe it was water because it did rain. It rained. No, it didn't rain till Saturday afternoon. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know.
So you went out for your practice. I only got to see one of your practices because I was working.
Yeah.
But I think it was 45 plus.
No.
Which one is Reed allowed in? Neither one.
He's not in either one of them.
Either one. Okay, that's
old
okay.
Enough. Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was, but I went to watch and I was like watching your practice and I was like, on pace, and then I see this one guy. I was like, wow, this guy. Who is this guy? He is just killing it.
So he went out in our practice?
Yes. I was like, who is, I've never seen, I don't
care for how they get.
And then I looked and I was like, oh, it's the number 22. It's Chad Reed.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
okay,
Why was he out in our practice? Yeah. I didn't notice that.
I don't have that answer, hon.
Yeah. They do. They really do. Yeah. They do bow down to them guys like that.
Well, you should have. We'll get to that point, but he had one of his motos. He had
the goggles.
His goggles were, I don't know, they were messed up something. And you would have think everybody stopped to help him. I'm like, well, what about the guy next door to him that
Yeah.
He doesn't have the option of 15 pairs of goggles because he doesn't have the money to.
Right.
What about that guy? Nobody would stop to help him.
No. And they wouldn't even stop the race or anything. But
right, exactly. They would have been like, that's sorry,
too late.
Fault. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very strange, but not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But so, yeah, I only caught one of those practices. So everything else was fine.
Yeah,
and
track was track was fun.
What was your favorite part?
I don't know. I can't really say I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the whole track. The track was fun. Friday's practice, I wouldn't want to say there wasn't any really difficult spots. For the racing, it got technical and difficult, but
I do know practice, that tabletop on the other side. I was watching you do that because a lot of the guys in your class weren't.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw you do it, and I was like, ooh,
yeah.
He looks really good over there.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you had good form.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I would say there's only probably a quarter of both classes were actually
because
jumping.
It was huge.
It was a big tabletop. Yeah.
And I'm sure it wasn't. It wasn't like it was. I don't know. From your perspective, it was probably like me. But on the other side, it was huge.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good send. I mean, but you had to commit to it, or you had to just do it.
Do you think if you wouldn't have had the training from this facility that you would have done that? Like, pretend this was before that you went to the
Shoals.
know.
Jumping's easy. Jumping's not something that the training at this place gets you through the technical stuff. Jumping's easy. Jumping's just nothing more than holding throttle on. And so, no, jumping it didn't. But it's the other parts of the track that this place helped me. So give
an example.
Just the ruts, the deep technical ruts, choosing lines. That's they drill in your head here. Picking good lines. Not just looking at the track like everybody else does and just following the same thing. Actually, looking how to connect different ruts together to make the track faster. I mean that's that stuff. Do
you think that helped you?
Oh yeah,
during Lake Sugar.
100% it helped. Yeah, that and Unadilla, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So practice was relatively smooth. It was hot that day.
I still have not to interrupt, but I still have a long ways to go in training. But
yes, you do.
But yeah,
we'll get into that. Trust me. Trust me, we will. It was really hot that day.
Yeah.
And it was hot, so that was Friday. It was really hot Saturday too.
Yep.
So if you look at the results, you did, was it senior 45 plus that you did first? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
You did 10th in Moto 1.
Yep.
We're just going to go over one class at a time to make it easier. You did 10, 10, 16. Mm-hmm. in 45 plus at Lake Sugar Tree for 11th overall.
Yeah.
Out of, hold on, I will tell
25
everybody.
or 28.
Out of 28.
Yeah.
You did, the 10-10 was decent.
Yeah.
You faltered on the last one.
No, I didn't falter. I got.
Well, I mean, like in general.
Literally got blown out of. I mean, I don't know. My start sucked. That's for sure.
Hold on. So, Moto 1 of 45 plus was when, yes, we've talked about the starts a million times. I'm always on you about your starts because it's not that you're bad at them.
Oh no, it's
that you're just not even a second.
Yeah.
A
tenth of a second.
A tenth of a second, like
gate
drops, everybody goes, you go. Like not even a second.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But that amount of time is crucial.
Yep.
But in the first moto, you almost died. You and another guy almost died.
Yeah, I got together on that big tabletop.
Yes.
Yeah, because
walk us through that up to when it was happening.
Because there was, and I don't know what I don't know the deal. I wouldn't want to, and I'm not judging anybody or picking on anybody or anything like that. I mean, everybody does their own thing and have a good time, but like, it is odd to me. It'll start. You can go to you're at an area, and you'll have guys that are way off pace. An area qualifier.
Yeah.
You'll have guys that are way off pace, and you think to yourself, like, okay, you came to an area qualifier, and you just want to race. So, but you'll see them. So them same guys, you'll see an area qualifier that are way off pace, and you go to a regional, and they've paid their way. They paid their way in to race at the regional, and you're boggled in your mind, and you think, like, you were off pace at the area. What are you doing at the regional with everybody that's, you're not just talking now, you're not talking an area where it's just that small area and it's the top guys from there that want to go to Loretta's. Now you've taken 8 other places and combined them to this place. So you've got more, what should be fast guys, and you've bought your way into coming here. And now that takes us fast forward to what happened is, I mean, it was a mid to front pack start, and we come around and I'm following a guy through the first couple the sections to getting to that big tabletop, and I'm following him, and he's going right with it. Okay, we're jumping. So I'm committed to jump a tabletop, and the last second I see his pace, like he slows right up, and I'm like, fuck, I'm already committed. So I just quick dodge over to the left, so I don't, because what was going to happen was, it was already done. It was already too late. He was already, last second he left the ground, but he wasn't going to jump at all, and I was going too fast to not jump, and I was going to land on him. So I quick dodged the left, and then left the air, and I thought it was clear. The next thing I know, I realized I hear a guy yell, and I'm in air, and me and a guy, because another guy had committed more to the left of me, and we tangled up.
And
literally.
This is why I am against paying your way into a regional.
I am too.
There were 4 guys.
Oh yeah.
In that class.
Yeah.
I'm gonna point out 4.
Yeah.
And I could say the name, but I'm not going to.
No, don't say any
But there are
names.
4 guys who literally could have killed people.
Oh yeah, they were
because of how slow they were.
Yeah, they were.
And then here's the problem: if you would have landed on them, they would have been the first one to complain.
Yeah.
They were going to get people killed.
Or hurt. Yeah.
And. That's why I'm against them paying their way in.
Yeah, the same way Unadilla.
Like if you're at a local race.
Yeah, that's right.
If we're talking about Empire State, okay, guys, we got 7 or 8 people.
Right,
it's a local.
Not a big deal.
When
you got 30 guys,
Loretta's regionals.
Right. When
you're gonna putt around.
Yeah. 4 or 5 or more guys.
Like
that were just
literally, they're going to kill someone.
Right. Just being the wet, they're just. Yeah.
I think that you should be, if you're not on a certain pace.
Well,
you shouldn't be allowed.
Personally, I don't. They should stick to, if you aren't top 9,
but they aren't going to make money off that. So what they could do is let that guy register, let him pay the fee. If he races practice and he doesn't time in at a certain time, then they say, hey, listen, this is dangerous. But
then they'd have to get back his money. So
they say no, sorry, no refunds. They've done it before, no refunds.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. Sports is there. Yeah, somehow I don't know, and all that. I mean, we tangled midair. Somehow I landed with my left hand off the bar, and my right hand blew off the bar when I landed. So basically landed with no hands. I don't know how I didn't go down. he went down, and
Were you squeezing your legs tight?
Yeah, I don't know, but somehow I wrote it out. He didn't, but I think
he did not, because I watched
no,
that.
Yeah,
he did not.
Yeah, he did
he
not.
Was down
he
off
went
the
down,
bank for a while.
It could have been that long because he still ended up qualifying. That guy still came up and had a decent enough finish where I knew who it was. He qualified,
okay. So he's fine then.
He got up at enough time to still come through and I don't know what I'd have to look to see what his finish was, but I know he at the end of the weekend he qualified.
Well, and then after that I went.
I fully, it was all. I came back around the next time and he wasn't there, and I fully expected, because in my mind, I mean, as much as I'm the one that I moved over. I don't know what else I could have done besides I don't think I could have.
Unfortunately, it's a chain
reaction. I don't think I could have checked up enough. But I mean, I'm the one that basically cross jumped, even though it wasn't. I didn't mean to. Mm-hmm. I fully expect to come off there and have him waiting for me at the.
And that's what I thought.
I was going to say, hey, you can be as mad as you want to me. I'm good with it. I'm just glad you're not dead.
Because I didn't see you back at the camper, and I was like, God, he got enough.
No, I literally, I think I looked around for him because I wanted to tell him I'm glad he wasn't hurt. But I mean, but yeah, I don't know.
So the plus 45 first moto, like top 10, I was
top 10 after.
I was not horribly happy about it.
Top 10 after having that incident, and I lost. Oh, I don't know. Because of course I was off track, because when I landed off the track and into a tear, and there was a big ditch by the lake, and I had to figure out how to get back to the track. I lost 10 positions. I was probably 20th by the time that was over, so I had to ride. I rode back up to 10th. So
yeah. So and then hold on, sorry, I'm doing a search right now. Yeah, so 50 plus was pretty much written off in the first moto for Lake Sugar Tree. It was 14th.
Yeah, just bad start, I think.
Yeah. And I'm going to drill this in, but a lot of times this conversation starts with, I got a bad start.
Yeah, that's... Mm-hmm. Especially, it's one, a bad start at a local race isn't a big deal. But when you get that many...
We're talking about Loretta's. We're talking about money.
Yeah,
we're talking about, I paid to be here.
Yeah, you get that many fast guys, especially at a regional, you can't have bad starts.
Well, and then you get to the point where... Lake Sugar Tree wasn't terrible, but you get to Unadilla, you got Barry Karsten, Greg Paymart. You have people like that.
That Phelps guy, we don't even talk about him, but he beat
Phelps.
Yeah, Scott Phelps. He beat Paymart.
Don't even get me started on. Anyway, to get a good, decent chance.
Yeah, you have to start front.
You need to start, and your starts have always been faltering.
Yeah. Yep.
For 45 plus at Lake Sugar Tree, you did 11th overall. 10, 10, 16 again. Last moto was terrible.
Wasn't it, or 16?
16. I just looked at it. Yeah. 50 plus was 14, 16, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for 12th overall, and then. Then what happened in your last moto at Lake Sugar Tree? Go ahead. Let's recap this.
Yeah, I had a much better start, and then I could really go through the track about. Oh, there was some off cambers and some spots where they had like two separate lines or two separate lanes for the same corner, and one was up around up a bank. And then you go all the way around. Well, I had a line that I had been using for all the other races, and this was right off the start. We took the start. I had a decent start finally, top 10 anyway. And it was only 3 or 4 corners in. I went to the same spot I've been going. I went to the middle rut and on the inside lane up the hill, and I was in it. And all of a sudden, I don't know if a guy that was fast that thought he should have been farther ahead was behind or what, but I got just absolutely blasted. Right, I mean, he hit me so hard, it put me in the bike out of the rut I was in and into the next rut on the side, and then a guy ran into my left leg, like blasted me in the leg. And then he tipped over on top of me. It was a clusterfuck. But yeah, so it just.
Basically, I need to be at these points in the track so that when people go by, I can just flip it
Well, yeah, I don't even know, and I don't know. I honestly have no idea who it was that blasted me. I don't, and I guess I don't know who ran into me either. But it wasn't his fault. I was in. He was committed to a rut, and then I ended up in. So, yeah. So I know I was. God, I had to have been. I think by the time I got up and got going, I was literally dead last on the track, and I
was watching time.
And then I come off, and you're mad, and I guess, but
I didn't say a damn thing.
But I didn't give up. I mean, there was 28 guys, and I came back to 14th. So I mean, if I'd have given up
at that point, you might as well have said.
Yeah, said what though?
Go in. I'm going to rust my leg.
Yeah, rust my leg, but then I turned I got 11th overall, which is a decent, I don't know where they'll take the power ranking from, but I mean, it's still 11th overall.
That's why I said we need to contact them, because if we take the power ranking from Unadilla versus...
Right.
Yeah, the last moto was a shit show. Jessica was pissed off. Got loaded up. Finally got back to here, which was... Luckily, it didn't take us 7.5 hours.
Yeah, it's my leg. I didn't realize how bad my leg was.
Yeah, because I drove for, an hour?
Yeah, an hour,
and then
I
couldn't,
and a half.
I couldn't do it because I was.
My leg literally ballooned. My leg ballooned.
And then luckily, thank you to Stu Baylor and the Shoals, we were able to get into a doctor the next day and make sure he was okay.
Yeah, he just said, okay, you're good to go. Yep, you're fine.
He checked us. Well, hey,
stop it. Oh yeah,
but at least he had somebody.
That's what I want. I just wanted him to look at it and say, okay, if you can handle the pain, there's nothing. There's nothing tore, broke.
That's what I was.
About. Yeah, because you were. You were looking things up and talking to people, and they're like, "Oh, it sounds like a torn hamstring." So I just wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong.
Yep. So and then you left. We got back here Sunday night. You left what, Wednesday?
Wednesday night
to drive up to Unadilla.
Yep.
Which was 14 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You got an Airbnb because it was absolutely ridiculous for us to buy hotels. By the way, just an FYI out there. How was practice Friday?
I don't know. It sucked, actually. Unadilla sucks.
I thought you were gonna be gentle during
this. No, I can't even believe
I wasn't even there, so I
can't even comprehend that place. I mean, it was disappointed, and that's not even before what happened, which really was out of their hands. But just they didn't, So Friday's practice. They didn't tilt it all, barely watered it. It was rock hard, and then halfway through, they started watering on top of the concrete rock hard dirt that had no traction.
Didn't till?
No, it was they just watered to keep the dust down, but it was literally they watered on top of rock hard, just dirt. It wasn't even it's not like clay here where you water on top of it and then it's wet. It's slippery for a little bit, but then gets tacky. That was just slippery until it was dry, and then it was right back to being hard. It was terrible. It was horrible.
To play devil's advocate, do you think that whoever was running the Loretta's program at Unadilla is different?
No, I don't. I think it's the same people.
So why would they do that? They just don't.
Because they already have your money. They have your money.
But they already have money at the Nationals too.
Yeah, but there's way more. Look at you got all them because you got way more pro. Because it's the pros. It's you've got all the pro riders. You got all the fans at the track looking at the track. They don't give a shit here. Even though it's Loretta's regional, they have all your money. They're not going to spend any more than they have to make the track so you like it. I don't know what else it can be because
I read a lot of comments.
It was horrible.
One person who
it was horrible. It was horrible. And then they prep the track like that for Friday for practice, and then 180 degrees different Saturday for racing. They actually did put some water down and actually did till it for the practice Saturday. It's once you read the comments, it's just funny to me that everybody was so unhappy with with the ruts and all that stuff, which I don't understand the problem with that. Even it slows people down for one. You have to be technical. You have to pick good lines.
That's part of being a good rider.
Right, and then and the ruts up the face of the jumps. Well, for one, so if you're not a good enough, and I'm not, so I jumped. I think there was only one or two jumps I actually continued to actually be able to jump and get with how rutted the faces were, but that was fine. I still was still good enough. You just didn't jump them all the way. You rolled them. So
walk me through again. I wasn't there, so my favorite place to be is the Screw You.
Yeah, they don't have that.
So how do you bypass that?
You just go right straight.
They just
cross it. Yeah, right
they
across.
Just go right across
the top of it. Yeah.
I think they should incorporate that in. By the way,
I don't. That would be terrible for
awesome.
Amateur guys.
So like your national track experience was not very.
I'm not.
You're not
I can bad enough. I can actually say that like next year, going forward, if I saw on the Northeast area schedule or on the run to schedule for Northeast, if Unadilla had the amateur had it, I would qualify for that.
You would go to.
I would go somewhere else. I would not go back to Unadilla. It was. Even
because I recall the last time we went there was they didn't use the national track.
Yeah.
They used the amateur track. Did
you
like the amateur track better?
I probably only because
they cared a little bit more.
Well, no. Still the same horrible prep, but at least that track's small enough because
you're not dying.
Yeah, okay. You don't have them. Yeah, it's not the huge jumps. Unadilla is like so wide and the layout's so nice, but when the prep is that bad, like I said, I like Saturday's prep way better than Friday's because at least Saturdays it slowed you down. Anybody could ride a track that's literally rock cement hard.
Hey,
and
easy.
Like there's no very little ruts. Anybody can. For example, anybody can ride that. It's not hard to twist throttle and go fast. But what was apparent is when you have them deep ruts, when you have to really choose your lines and be on your balls, your feet, and riding those ruts, that shows who you can ride or not. I mean,
yeah.
Never even mind what happened on Sunday, and that wasn't even their fault. So I mean, you can be, you can't change the weather.
You did 6th in your division, the second division,
in 50,
in plus 50, and then in 45.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
You bombed. So we won't even talk about that.
Can't remember what happened there.
We'll just ignore that one.
That was 20th. Oh well, I got taken out on the start. Yeah.
Did you figure out who took you out?
I know exactly who took me out. I guess, but it doesn't matter.
You're not gonna fuck out.
I don't know. And of course, the guy that was there with me, John Richard, he's no fucking help. I gotta imagine that maybe that whole, because I was, 5 or 6 gates to the right off of the box, off of the doghouse.
Okay.
And I gotta imagine that maybe somebody pushed him. Oh, I was to the right of the guy that took my front end out, and I
could have messed his day up.
Yeah, I could have. I got to imagine somebody moved and made him move over.
Do we know the person that did it?
No, but I know of him because he's a local racer up in District 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were 10 feet. The gate dropped. We made the initial charge, and we're 10 feet off. And the next thing you know, he made an abrupt right turn and just cleaned me out. I mean, maybe he got off balance. There's a bunch of reasons. Anyway, I was on the ground, literally dead last out of 40 guys.
Yeah. So the better one was 50 Masters.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm fucking wrong. That was actually the 50 Masters that was 50 Masters that I came back to 6.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't remember what.
So what did you do in 45 plus?
45. Wait. 45 plus. I actually had a mid-pack start, and
that won't help.
Yep,
you finished ahead of Rich Jarvis.
Yeah.
Side note.
He actually yelled at me.
For what?
Because and it was funny too because our line, I was just picking my way through the track, going up through people, and we got close. Like he was headed for a place, and I was I was going, and I just went past him, but we got close. We never even touched. And he yelled like,
Fuck off.
I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm not. We can. This is motocross. We can pass. We can even touch.
You know how that. You know how that is.
Yeah. We can even touch. It's just that's too bad. I mean, that's motocross.
Yeah. When you do touch, then you can.
Yeah, actually, and I had a good run going in that after just a mid-pack start, and I had to. Yeah, I was making my way up through them, and I just made a. I went to square up in a corner up by before you go under that walkway, and I tucked the front a little bit and just had a simple tip over. But
these are the things that keep putting you behind.
Yeah, I put my elbow down and I got a freaking stinger in my shoulder, and my arm went numb.
Did 12th overall in 50 Masters.
11th overall, 50 Masters. Like, they were so slow with everything.
I've noticed.
So slow.
Because
when you were here, when we were for this area for this qualifier at this place, the class there was still people finishing their race, and then they were dropping the gate for the next class
because they knew that it was like
they pushed it through. They made sure that the last few people in that class were in a safe spot, and they were dropping the gate. Now, not Unadilla. Practice was slow and horrible, but they only told you right from the beginning said you're going to get 2 rounds. That's it.
What pissed me off was they didn't start races until almost noon on Saturday.
Yeah, because okay, so at Lake Sugar Tree was another one that ran through great. So Lake Sugar Tree,
2 laps.
So for Saturday morning practice. Because they kept saying, "Well, we had to have a practice because what if people came that didn't practice on Friday?" That's too fucking bad.
That's your problem.
This is a regional. This isn't local track shit. If you take this stuff serious, then you get here Friday for your practice, or too bad. So Lake Sugar Tree, Saturday morning before racing started at 7. I think they started at 7:30. I think at Lake Sugar Tree in the morning. Yeah, 7:30 they started. And it was 1 lap, sight lap, and it was a continuous. They told you, okay, plus 45, get heading down there, your sight lap started. But they really didn't care. You went out there in a line. It was one continuous line until the last guy.
Like you were pushing it. You just
went out, sight lap, you came back off.
That was it. Be.
So not Unadilla. It went every class, and they gave you it was 3 laps.
I was watching. I was trying to watch the timing. I was
we didn't start. Yeah, we didn't start.
So they could have had more than one moto in a lot of places.
They could a lot.
But they just fucked around.
But so the practice took forever, and then the motos took forever. The motos, there was times. Almost every time was 5. There was 5 minutes between the last person coming off the track and before the gate dropped for the next class.
For no reason.
5 minutes. They might water a place here and there, but don't do that. Lake Sugar Tree never watered between motos. Your track, the track was they watered it deep. They watered a lot. They tilled it deep, and it got rutted. Just leave it like that. Why do we need to keep a little bit of dust down? It was the ruts got hard. The track got hard packed and rutted. Just leave it like that. Why are you worried about watering it? It was terrible. They had all them divisions, and they didn't even get through all the divisions before the end of the day Saturday. And then to make it even, and then just another irritating thing, like the plus 45 was my last class, and that was done at I think 3 o'clock. I think because I was race 10.
Yeah,
race 10 was 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's no way they're going to get second motos in, because I was 3rd race for plus 50. But I'm like, there's no way they're going to get any second motos in tonight. So I was going around and asking like people I
can go back.
I can go
exactly.
I can leave here. Just hey, do you think we're going to get second motos in? I don't know. I don't.
And then the second, if you would have left, they would have got him in.
Right. Well, we'd like to get him in. I'm like, you're not there's no freaking way. I asked multiple different. I go up to the sign up there. Hey, you guys gonna get some of those in? Boy, I don't know. We'd like to. I don't. No. So then it's that whatever time it was, 6 o'clock
late,
or whatever.
yeah, it
They're
was
like,
late.
okay, yeah, we're not gonna get all
So
these
you
last
wasted
chance
3
qualifiers
hours.
in. Yeah, I could have went. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was another thing too. Because then Saturday night, I laid in bed and I heard thunder and stuff, but I just thought just a little storm.
You must have had the air on there. You couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, like I said, I could hear
But it must have rained hard.
I didn't even.
And you didn't hear
I
that?
didn't really even hear any rain.
Unless you were just so tired.
Maybe, I don't know, but boy, we got up Sunday morning.
So
It was
Sunday morning. You texted me. You were like, "Oh, I'm trying to get there."
Yeah, it was roads are literally washed out, and I thought the road just we made we come out of the driveway. You made a right, and you went up only a mile, or you went up a couple miles, and you made another right to go up over the hill to get down into New Berlin. Mm-hmm. But we made the right out of the driveway, and a mile down the road from the Airbnb, the road was washed out, so we had to go all the way back up into Norwich and around to get back. And I thought, man, we're gonna be late getting to, we're gonna be screwed because I'm gonna be late getting there.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, oh my god!
When we got there, it was apparent that there was people flooded and washed out everywhere.
Yeah, Columbus Public House, 1795.
Yep.
Sorry, side note. Really good food.
Oh, really good food.
Really cool place.
Yeah, very cool place.
Good drinks. Really cool people.
Yep.
If you ever get there, please check it out. It's totally worth it.
Yep.
Every time we go there, we're like, we gotta go to the Columbus Public House.
Yep. Whenever we're in Unadilla.
Please one time, please God.
Yep. We did.
Was it crowded the night you went?
No.
See, on Nationals weekend.
Yeah, it's always crowded.
So freaking crowded, but it is so worth it.
Yep.
And it's not that far from the track, like not even 10 minutes.
Yeah, yep.
So you got there Saturday?
Saturday.
Pretty much.
Sunday was when they rained it out.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
So Saturday or Sunday they rained it out, but not until.
Yeah, they took forever to do that, decide that too. But I guess again, I can excuse all that. That to me, that wasn't Was I crazy about what they did or how they decided it? No, but I mean, I don't know what else they could have done. So
yeah, so we end up sitting in a 11th overall there because of your 6th place finish, but you timed better.
Yeah, than the other 6th place finisher.
Yes, so you got 11th overall.
Excuse me. Yep.
So we registration opened up for for Nationals. We did register as alternates. Mm-hmm. Which was absolutely ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, my God.
This is something that we're not used to. I was like
$1,500, right?
I literally, I was paying attention to MX Sports for days. I was like, refresh. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, 8 minutes ago it opened. So I opened it up, like called you, got you registered, because where were you at the time? You were up in Virginia trying to get Lucas and Brennan, trying to get all of them. You were driving.
No, I think I was back.
No, you were I was on the phone when you were registering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, so we're doing this class, picking your numbers, all that stuff. Did the camping fee, did the golf cart fee. It was $14.87.
Yeah.
Was what $14.87.50.
That's just, that's not even, I think that was all our stuff.
That's classes, camping, and the golf cart.
Yep.
If we win, I did submit for the lottery. If we win the lottery, it's another $500.
Yep.
So we had to pay another $500.
Yep.
And I mean, that doesn't include fuel to get there.
Right.
God only knows what else we're going to spend there. But I was like, I'm not going to go without a golf cart. Because if you didn't buy the golf cart pass when you registered, it was significantly more when you get there.
It's crazy that
they tried.
We act like this is it's such a privilege to spend money. It's like, please take my money.
I was like,
yeah.
Well, and then here's the thing. So so we signed you up as an alternate. If you don't get the alternate spot, you get a refund.
Yeah.
There's a fee to get a refund.
Right.
It's a $10 fee to get a refund.
Yeah.
Wait, what? So you charge my card in 3 seconds, but you're charging me to get a refund?
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's insane.
Well, and then we didn't even get into that, because you're talking about how much it was insane for the Lake Sugar. It was Unadilla charged $75 a class. Lake Sugar was $60 a class.
So it is at their discretion.
Must be, because Unadilla was $75 a class.
So you had a worse track
for Unadilla. That was.
But that's why they did it.
It was still the $60 for MX Sports, but
that's why they did it. They were like, "You're going to Unadilla."
Well, and I say
you're gonna be on the pro
I
track.
will, and I'm not I'm not a fan.
Which sucks because Unadilla was fun to watch for the Nationals.
Yeah, I think I'd probably still go there and watch
they're
a national, but
money
I
hungry,
will not go
apparently.
back there for. I have no intentions or desire to go back there for a regional. None.
Yeah. And again, I was down here because I was not driving 14 hours. And
Just the even and I had I had an inkling this whole thing was going to play out because so you pre-register for this stuff. So so going into the weekend, all your stuff like you don't have to go to the window and sign up and or do your card and all that stuff. It's all taken care of. So at Lake Sugar Tree, we got there Thursday, and the window was there was someone there from like 1 to 9 Thursday night at Lake Sugar Tree. Like at Lake Sugar Tree, they were from there. Like from I don't know the exact times, but I want to say they were open when we got there in the early evening, and they were open quite late. So you literally walk in the window. They had 3 windows open at Lake Sugar Tree. You walked up. She just said you told her your name. She checked everything off. She gave you your practice stickers and you left. So
it was like
Thursday night we got there. We got set up at Unadilla. We dropped the trailer and all the stuff. And I went up and I said, okay, when's pre-registration check-in open up? Oh, it doesn't open up till 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm like,
what?
5? Why? Why couldn't it be open up now? It was like 3 o'clock or whatever time we got there, or maybe noon. So I think we were there at noon, and I went up. Yeah, it doesn't open until 5. So at like 3 o'clock, I'm like, you know what? I'm not waiting here any longer. We're all, nothing else we can do here. No big deal because all it is check-in. I mean, we'll get there. I'll get here early. Practice started at 10. No, actually they started practice early. Practice was like at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Thank God they did.
Yeah. So, but I'll get here at 7 o'clock or whatever, and it's just quick check-in. Will be no big deal. I get there, and there is a line a mile long for pre-registration check-in. And
see, I did not see that at all.
No, because it wasn't, because they handled it better. I don't know what and like when I was in line, there wasn't, and everybody thought the same thing. Everybody was saying, "Why are we in a line for check-in? This should be
hey, what's your name? Here you go.
This should be a quick thing, and that's it." I was just, I should have known right then. I should have known the weekend was going to be a shit show.
Yeah, because every time I passed that building, like Sugar, like
it was never a line.
Never.
Yeah.
The only line I saw was to the food stand.
Not to mention, like I said, 5 o'clock in the evening if they would have had it, and probably and they would have saved a lot of time because probably would have got a lot more people to check in Thursday had they opened the.
Right, they were like, okay, let's get 3 o'clock, let's get it going.
Yeah, I wasn't going to wait around there until 5 o'clock to do the check-in.
No, you already have to go to your Airbnb and all that.
I had to do all that, I had to grocery shop and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so we're registered as alternates for plus 45 and plus 50. Please.
Yep, we'll see.
Think of us and cross your fingers and.
But we're going regardless.
Yeah, we are going. We have our camping spot. We will be there. I will try to film. We have no idea what to expect. We've never been there.
Never been there.
People are like, try this. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to experience this. And we're like, yeah, we're going to do all of it. But I don't know how we're going to fit all of this in one day.
Well, we'll see. We have a whole week and not one day. We're there a week.
Yeah. But, so we're going to find out. But we will. You are taking this month off training to recover from your various injuries. If we here doing the Coal Miners Championship.
Yep.
And
Coal Miners Championship.
Then we'll be
it's on the Loretta's replica track.
Yep.
Which is mint. I mean, that track is good.
Do you like that track?
Yeah, that track's fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Steven Squire, who's our
trainer and track builder.
Trainer for Matthew Hicks.
Yeah, trainer for everybody.
And track builder, and we will be there at Loretta's. I'll probably do some reels on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So if you want to see those, you can. But until then, peace out.
Peace out, everybody.